Hey, how we doing, folks? Last Patriot 2016 here. Codename Skyscraper, known as the Badass Geek, and my friends like to call me Nick. How we doing today, folks? Wow, a lot has been happening. Sorry I've been off the grid for a little bit, trying to get back into it. It's been, yeah, fortunately, how do they say that? Life happens. Like I said, this isn't as easy as everybody thinks, but hey, why not? I've got a few followers, and I appreciate all you guys. Don't forget, like, share, post. I actually need to sit down and I've got to, yeah, I'm trying to work with some video editing software and whatnot. I'm trying to build a bigger and longer. Trying to build a little bit more professional instead of, I find I'm always going live because it's relatively simple. It's easy. And I can go right off my handy dandy cell phone. For some reason, I don't know. I guess I don't have enough followers yet to do the go live with off my laptop yet. I'm working on it. Hey, the more people share, the more people get out there. But obviously, we all know that Tuesday is a huge day in this nation's history. We've got a lot on the line. I mean, I've been I've actually been conversing with a few texting groups that me and a few friends have started that are those of us conservatives. And, it's like, wow. I mean, we've got the fake bombing. I mean, who sends out bombs to themselves? And then tries to, it's all because of the rhetoric from President Trump. I don't recall President Trump calling anybody to violence. Political violence has no place in this country, and it's getting like hysteria. I mean, and then we've got a Jewish temple that gets attacked. And yet again, the president stands up and warrants for people to defend themselves. And we impose armed guards. And, you know, I'm an NARA certified instructor. Those of you who've been following me know that I do work, and I guess anymore it's dabbling in the personal defense and personal protection realm. Self defense, executive protection. You know, we've got some issues, and I am so proud of the country and the people that I'm running into. I mean, with the Blexit, the movement has been huge. I mean, I found just the timing of everything. I mean, we catch the Balmer as we're holding the Youth Black conservative conference at the White House, might I add, which I just, I find that, as many of you know, I have said before, I was so disappointed in Obama. He had the opportunity of a lifetime to combine and bring together and help build this country. And instead, he chose to divide us. And he is still trying to divide us. Oh my gosh. I mean, I love how President Trump is doing such a horrible job, but President Obama wants to take credit for everything that Trump has done. The only reason that we have the economy and the progress that we have is because basically we undid everything. I mean, I don't understand where the relic and the disconnect is. Is anybody else catching on to this? I mean, wow, there's going to be unsettling unrest. We've got Nancy Pelosi saying that collateral damage for people who don't believe me. If you don't think like me, there's going to be collateral damage. There's going to be blood in the streets, I'm hearing now. You know what? There's going to be blood in the streets. Let me tell you something. I am ready for blood in the streets. Shoot. I'm stockpiled. Probably shouldn't, maybe, you know, I'm readily protected, and shoot, I've got everything from crossbows to shotguns. I mean, crossbows, shotguns, personal defense weapons, aka the assault weapon. They're assault weapons. Really, they're not assault weapons. They are weapons of personal defense, and that's the thing that yeah. That's a whole nother. That'll be a whole nother episode, I'm sure. But the thing is, there's a lot of things on the line. I'm going to tell you what. You know what? And I heard a good one. That, maybe some people should not be allowed to vote. You're mentally insane. You run around wearing a mask and beating on people and destroying cars and setting cities on fire. You probably shouldn't be voting. I agree. Now we've got this massive caravan that's coming up, which, here's what nobody. Oh my gosh, the president said defend yourself. Being a previous member of the military, like I've said many times, granted I served 12 years, I've been out for a few, but yeah, I'm still. Military at heart. And the thing that most people don't understand is people who throw stones do damage. In Muslim countries, they actually stone you to death. I mean, I was reading an article about a couple that went to Egypt. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, and his wife decided to wear short sleeves and not understanding the culture that you're in. It's amazing to me how we as Americans, we are open. We adapt in general. We are very tolerant people. But, when we go to other countries, if you don't follow their rules, they'll crucify you, literally. I mean, damn near put you on a cross and, kill you dead. Especially in some of these Muslim countries. And that's the one thing that I notice that a lot of people here don't understand. And it's scary. But I heard this guy talking about how his wife was seriously stoned. They had to like run, not walk, and try to make it back to their hotel because there were people just picking up stones and chucking them at his wife. I mean, but when you go to a Muslim country, it's game on. When you're an outcast to these foreign countries, you have to follow by their rules. Why do we just roll over and we let these, we are so tolerant. And when they come here and everybody, it's kind of like people in California, Detroit, Chicago. I live in the Chicagoland area. I can vouch. It's, the biggest problem that we have is, let's face it, when your policies create a poverty stricken area and they aren't working, so you move where you make a move for financial gain, but you don't change your way of thinking. Your way of thinking has to change. Nobody wants to believe that it was their. Oh, California laws are great. Shoot, we've got gun bans, we've got high crime rates, we got poverty, where you tax out the yin yang. If you make $1, we should take 99, and you should get 5 cents. So so what? Out of every 95 cents out of every dollar you make should go to taxes, so your neighbor doesn't have to work. That's the way California believes. Because I've lived there, I've dealt with it. I mean, their taxes are ridiculous. And it's crazy, it's kind of a beautiful area. You know what? It's not for me. I can't, the stupidity. I mean, you can't, The biggest problem with socialism is eventually you run out of everybody else's money. It's New Jersey. Shoot, we tax all the places that have raised the taxes have strict gun laws and everything. Why aren't all these areas failing? We've got Detroit, we've got Chicago, we've got New York, we've got California. I mean, and if you look at these areas, they're areas of high poverty, extreme income inequality that the Democrats want to scream about. But I don't see, I just don't get it, folks. If you're screaming about income inequality, but it's your regulations and laws and local government that's doing it. Cuomo in New York, he's off his freaking rocker. I mean, somebody lock him up. I think he's a danger to himself and everybody else. So's Bloomberg. I mean, really? America has never been great. I beg to differ. I kind of think America is great. I kind of love my country. But I've spent enough time in other countries, in third world countries and socialist countries, to understand that what we have here is amazing. And we have a lot of freedoms that you aren't granted in other parts of the world. And you want to have open borders? Really? And don't tell me this caravan's coming here for asylum. I mean, they've been granted asylum in Mexico and turned it down. Work permits and asylum in Mexico, but that's not good. That's not good enough for us. No, we're going to come and we're going to try to infiltrate. Well, I heard rumors there's going to be like 15,000 troops on the border to meet you guys. Good luck. Some tells me this is going to end badly. And it's not going to end badly for us. And the first person that throws a stone, you know what? That you start throwing stone. I hope they throw stones. I hate to say it. You know what? I hope they throw stones. Because then again, maybe it will detour these other caravans that are coming, because it's like they're starting, it's like this chain gang thing. One happened, the second's coming, the third's coming. I heard there's a fourth. And you guys are gonna, and how do you as illegal immigrants think you're gonna sue us for constitutional law? You have no constitutional rights. I really wish they'd start teaching government in school again. Not to mention some history, because we aren't following history very well. Socialism has been the biggest contributor to genocides. All the greatest genocides of the last century have been based on socialism. And everybody wants to, compare President Trump to Hitler? Really? I don't think so. He's done more for the minorities in this country than our previous minority president. Explain that to me. How does a minority president not do anything for even his own city of Chicago? He left it in a complete mess. It was a disaster. Chicago is still a disaster. It's a body count. I mean, it's a bloodbath. Nobody will call it that, but Chicago has turned into a blood city. Not to be mistaken with Blood's the Gang, it is, Air Fingers quote, it is a bloodbath. I mean, we have lost more people in Chicago, I think, than we have in the Iraqi freedom, that we've lost in our confrontation in Afghanistan, potentially. I mean, the numbers and whatnot are ridiculous. But nobody says anything about that. And I don't see any major they hold a few protests there. I want to see all these Antifa members and whatnot. I want to see them march down Rodeo Drive, see what happens. You got people like Oprah Winfrey, who's trying to, she's out, campaigning in Atlanta for a socialist. I mean, it's not about having the first black black governor, black woman governor. It's not about sex. It's not about race. It's about common sense, folks. You know, if we only vote on emotional basis, then the Democrats have won. It's not about emotions. It's about numbers. It's about facts. It's about, you know, I remember a guy telling me you like your doctor, keep your doctor. You like your health insurance, keep your health insurance. Of which I lost both. Yeah, that worked out real well. You know what? That hope and change, I wish he'd keep his free. He can take his change and keep his hope. Or maybe take his change to buy some hope. I mean, shoot, I had no change left to buy hope underneath, you know? I spent 8 years of just struggling, and I'm finally getting back on my feet. I mean, you know, it's tough. It's really tough. And I did lose my job under that administration, and it was really hard to find a job. Now I've actually got people that are actually calling me. And things might be looking up. I don't know. But, you know, folks, we have got to band together, and I'm glad to see people finally waking up. I mean, Candace Owens, I can't say enough good things about her, you know. David Harris Jr., another shout out. You know what? You guys have been the inspiration. You're the guys that the reason that got me to think, and that, you know, hey, I've got a voice. You know what? I got a pen. I got a phone. I've got a YouTube channel. What the hell? I don't know how successful I'm going to be. I work too much. I admit it. I work too hard. Everybody tells me I'm crazy, but you know, this is what it takes to make the world great, I guess. And it's a struggle. Every day is a struggle. But you know, until I guess I can level off, maybe someday I'll be able to retire. But you know, I work on average 75 to 90 hours a week, you know, and it's what it takes for me to survive. Because I have been homeless. I have lived in my car, and I try not to. And I don't want to go back to that. Determination's what, you know, and I just don't see it. I love it when I meet people and they're like, man, I worked 43 hours this week. 43 hours. I mean, when 43 hours is a lot to some people, it's not a lot. It really isn't. 43 hours is basically, you know, we look at 43 hours, and I look at 43 hours, and there's a lot of weeks I have 43 hours in by Wednesday. I work 6 to 7 days a week. I know. I'm an overachiever. Oh, you shouldn't. You know what? I don't care. The fact that I've got that kind of dedication, and my customers and my bosses and my managers and my customers and my fellow employees, they know they can count on me. You know, we've lost reliability in this country. And it's fallen to the wayside of laziness. I mean, I actually seen a great meme that somebody sent me and said that, you know, President Trump is getting kids jobs, and they're starting to make a living, and they're moving out of their parents' basements. Oh my God, he's separating kids from their parents again. Oh my gosh, can you imagine he's separating kids from their parents? Oh shoot, yeah, it's horrible, ain't it? Separating kids from their parents, actually, you know, giving them a kind of a give them a little jab, and they're going out. And they're getting on their own, and you know, things are getting better. The thing is, we are all these people that are talking about mandatory $15 an hour wages. You know what? $15 an hour wage doesn't work. You can. I'm going to give you a case in point. I was on a union job site, non-union employee. It's okay, but you know, different trades. You know, obviously, you know, I do some work in construction, kind of, sort of. But I got to talking to this painter. You know, he made 3 times what I made. He made something like $65 an hour, while I was making like 23 or 24 at the time. So he's making like $65 an hour. Oh my God, look at all the money I'm making. It's like, well, shoot, yeah, well, I make. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. You're making $65 an hour. Now, here's the thing: if you take $65 an hour times 2,000 hours, that equals $130,000. Okay, he should be making $130,000 at a 40-hour work week. You know what he actually told me he was making? He told me that he made 45,000 the year before. This was a couple years ago, granted, but okay. So he's making $65 an hour, made 45,000. So divided by 65. He worked roughly 700 hours. So then you take 2,000 divided by 700. Can't be right. Let's see. 2,000 divided by 700. Okay, so yeah, you get it. So okay, so you can make $70 an hour and make $40,000 a year because you're not working. I was making about a third of what he was making, but when I told him I made, I made 95,000. I worked a lot of overtime, but I worked hard and I made it. I'm like, well, I made I just threw it. I threw figures at the wall. I didn't, tell him. I told him I made well over double that. He's like, well, how do you do that? Because I make all it. It doesn't matter your wage if you're not getting the hours. You can make $500 an hour. You know what? You make $500 an hour. If you work 2 hours a month, how much do you make? $1,000. Just because I trust me, I know this. I've worked I've worked private contracts. Wow, I make $500 an hour. But I work 2 hours a month. You're making insane money, but you work okay. I work 4 hours a month and I make $2,000. Okay, you work 4 hours a month, you make $2,000. To me, that seems like a waste because you could make less and actually make more. So, or if you make $500 an hour, you work 1 hour a month. 1 hour a month, Okay, so you make $500 in 1 hour a month. It's $500 for the month. You see the equation here. But, no, folks, I just wanted to weigh in a little bit. Remember, Tuesday, it's a big day. There's a lot on the ballot. If you like your job, you like your income, you like your 401k doubling, you like a sovereign country, you like having our country defended, you like having the strong, robust economy that we have. I know out by me, we're opening up another steel mill. I mean, $750 million are being invested into a steel mill that's been shut down for, I think, 10 or 15 years. We had one that was open, and we're actually busy enough that we're building a second. That's good business. That's only good business. I know somebody said, oh, well, Ford laid off. You know what? Ford laid off because, no offense, it's, automakers have laid off and hired back and whatnot over and over and over again. The funny thing is you look at, like, Ford may be laying off, but you look at Nissan, that's building another plant. Why would a Ford company be building another plant here? Because it only makes good business. And I, you know, I drive a Nissan. Oh, it's not American made. Well, actually, it is. It was built in Mississippi, and I did my research, and it actually has more American parts on it than the Ford or Chevy that I looked at, and the dependability and the quality. It's phenomenal. I mean, I when we were getting beat out by people that are building more quality vehicles with our own labor. I mean, literally, they're building it here, but they're building it here and they're kicking our butt because they build a better quality vehicle because they have people that actually take pride. And not all of these manufacturers are even union. So I don't know. When I was younger, I grew up with unions, and I understand they had their time and their place. But I'm starting to see it as, what? Unions aren't all that great anymore. Unions are fed by greed. They aren't for the average Joe. They aren't for the employees. It's all about, we've got to make a fortune. How many companies have the unions busted and put hundreds of people just out of jobs? Because, their idea of negotiation, well, we got to have more money, more money, more money, more money, more money, more money. It doesn't always work, folks. But get out there, vote. Ballot box is where it's going to be won. I'm telling you, we got a lot of ground to cover. I'm really hoping for Tuesday night to be a success. I'm actually going to be on the road traveling for business again, but I'll try to probably do a live feed from my hotel. Folks, it's it's up to you. It's up to me. It's up to you. You know what? And when you vote, get 10 or 15 people to go. I've already sent in my absentee ballot. I voted 3 weeks ago. And I've got faith. I mean, the only other thing you can remember is go do the research. Every Democrat is doing nothing but lying. And it's been debunked. And they're caught on tape lying. I mean, video footage being released from in these camps where people are just, they're lying to the people. I mean, why would you vote for somebody that is lying to get your vote so they can basically bend you over? Because that's what they're going to do. So, folks, this is Last Patriot 2016, codename Skyscraper, known as the Badass Geek, and my friends like to call me Nick. I will talk to you guys soon. I hope everybody has a great night. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to vote on Tuesday. And red wave, red tsunami. I'm with you. Let's make President Trump proud, and let's keep propping up this government, and let's keep on with the good fight. And let's hope that we can resolve this caravan peacefully, but you know what? At this point, from what I've heard and what I've seen, you know what? They're not peaceful people. So this could be dangerous. But I'm glad to see that we have a president willing to defend our borders and use our Constitution for us. So, folks, I got to go, but talk to you on the flip side. See you on the next one. Have a great night. Peace out. Peace.